Hi, this is Nicholas Bell with IONCINEMA here to review Don't Breathe 2, which is being released by Sony Screen Gems August 13th, 2021. It is, of course, a sequel to the 2016 film Don't Breathe, directed by Fetty Alvarez, who returns this time as a co-writer. This represents the directorial debut of the writer of the last film, Rado Sagayas, and tries to do something a little bit different with Stephen Lang's Norman Nordstrom, who was an antagonist who is now fashioned into the protagonist, straddling that line in kind of interesting ways, though, however. This film opens with a house on fire, a young girl in the street. She's rescued by Stephen Lang, and it skips ahead 8 years later, and they're still presumably in Detroit, and we learn that this girl believes him to be his father based on how he was trying to have a child in the last film. I think we're a bit up in the air until the film kind of reveals what's going on. But anyway, he's homeschooling this young girl named Phoenix in various survival skills. He has a nursery in his isolated home, which it's important to note that there's only one way, kind of one road going back and forth to this home, which is of course a little different from the first film. And a woman named Hernandez, played by Stephanie Arcilla, works for him. There are a lot of details about the narrative that are kind of left unclear, that could have been sussed out a bit better. But she's befriended this young girl who sometimes goes into town to sell the plants that he's growing at his home. They attract the attention of a band of who we can see from news stories. There's organ traffickers going on in Detroit. They take an interest in this young girl. We think it's because of that, and they follow her home. And then we have a situation that's very similar to the first film, where Stephen Lang is blind and battling people that have broken into his home. So it definitely delivers on that level of violence and grisliness that if you were attracted to that in the first one, it does have that here. But then it goes a bit overboard and sails away into camp territory with what is really going on about Phoenix and these people that want her, in kind of interesting ways that I think would have made this an excellent film if it had been more elegantly unveiled. However, it isn't, so it just is one of those films that will be called, batshit crazy in most arenas. But there is a lot of fun to be had with it. I don't know that it justifies having another sequel to make this a trilogy. It is nice to see Stephen Lang front and center, who is even more a little bit primordial in this. He doesn't even really have a lot of dialogue, but since Last Exit to Brooklyn, I've been a big Stephen Lang fan, so it's nice to see this here. If Don't Breathe had some implausibility with what the heightened senses of someone who doesn't have a sense, like a blindness, who they kind of discount that he would have other heightened senses, and they still don't really play up on that here, and there's a lot of moments that are quite unbelievable. That said, shot by Pedro Lucas, who came back to lens this film. It actually shot in Serbia over the summer and fall of 2020, and even though it doesn't quite feel like Detroit, the film does look really good. Overall, I would give Don't Breathe 2.5 out of 5 stars. Thank you.
Hey, this is Eric from IONCINEMA.com. If you want to support us, subscribe below. For more reviews, interviews, film festival coverage from Sundance, Cannes, Toronto, you want to check out these guys on this side.